Good morning, welcome to Emmanuel City Mission. I just want to share the space with you, what we do here. It's quite practical, starting with nutrition and food services. We every day have drinks from tea and coffee, cool drinks, barista coffee. You can imagine the worth and the value that comes if they're able to walk into a place like this in the difficult season of life and order a latte, order a hot chocolate, order a cappuccino. There's something amazing about being able to provide that service, recognising that all services at Emmanuel City Mission are zero cost. It's one of our core values to eliminate barriers between need and access in a place like this. So welcome to the front room of Emmanuel City Mission. The reason I'm here is really vocational calling. I really felt a call in the season that followed towards wanting to really serve out of that place, and not so much to chase a career in the more orthodox sort of sense or the more conventional sense, but to look at ways I could create a life out of service, really. As we explore where it is meant to go and we explore the careers in life and the various vocational pathways, we find answers, and the answers I found was actually my own backyard. Opportunity to serve as an urban missionary, I describe it, here in Brisbane. Beyond there, we'll walk through these very important doors into the main room. Come with me, guys. So in this room is a real hospitality space. We'll have a kitchen over here, which is providing a warm meal. 12 o'clock weekdays and 11 o'clock on weekends, we provide a hot meal. It's again, zero cost. Can be up to 150, 170 people might utilise that service at 12 o'clock on any given day. There's always a takeaway meal as well. So really coming here, a person can have a breakfast, a lunch, and with a takeaway option, a dinner as well. So there's 3 meals for the day. That's all run by volunteers. Volunteers are the backbone of the place. It's a shared meal. It's a community meal. It's not a homeless feed, nor is it a place for people to come and various sides of the bollard is their power. It's a place of equality. It's a place people come and they can share a meal with a volunteer or a visitor and really enjoy community and friendship too. So countless conversations happen here on any given day. So yeah. People first is our first core value. The front door, there's people. Behind the bollards, there's people wearing high-vis vests. People are this place. We're a community centre. It's just so important that every individual person is valued first and foremost, not just the person at the front door, but also our volunteers, our supporters, our donors, our stakeholders. People perform extraordinary humanity in this space, both in their support and both in their receiving of the services. So yeah, really people management is one of the primary parts of who City Mission is. Another one of the services is just some of the personal hygiene services we try to provide here as well. So you've got your toiletries, sanitary items. We try to provide a good supply of them. They're often gifted by community groups, school groups. At the heart of all these items really is a band of people, a community of supporters and stakeholders that really empower this place to exist. We don't receive any government funding, nor we receive any religious funding. Our service is run purely off 3 lighthouse fundraising events, which is our pilgrimage appeal, which is around Easter time, our annual appeal, which happens at the end of financial year, and then our Christmas appeal. It is a community-funded, community-run organisation, and it's a real gift to the visitors that come here, being able to have that foundation to conduct these services daily. There is no front door without the back doors. The conversations that happen after closure from our board and the sort of more macro detail that they're caught up in and really guiding the space, making sure that it's got integrity, that it's moving in its earliest calling, staying true to its values, right through to some of the corporate groups that have come on board, whether it be them rolling out a luncheon amongst their staff or their leadership teams, right through to school groups, managing near 24 schools and growing, community groups, various other religious groups that will contribute in some way, right through to individuals that have been with us since the beginning. There's as much work done after closure as there is in the 8 hours each day that the place is open, but in all of that, keeping that consistent thread across the way we treat each other, the way we honour each other, the way that we just honour the various nuts and bolts of the place, and making sure that we're listening to the learnings and the findings along the way as well. We have washing facilities, washing machines and dryers, again, zero cost. 2 shower pods, which again are a zero cost, the ability to freshen up. You can imagine at 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock when the place is opening, if you can get a shower, a coffee, a feed, it might be the difference between making a better choice for the day. It might be the difference between honouring a commitment for the day than feeling, just feeling really ugly, feeling really kind of dirty or hungry. What mission are we on? Well, for me, it's a faith-driven mission. It's a Christian faith-driven mission. I'm a young man myself with a family committed to my Christian Catholic faith. There are many words of encouragement at the heart of that tradition that speak of a force, a power, a relationship of provision that comes through being faithful in word and deed to the very calling of that tradition itself, and in taking care of the stranger, which is really at the heart of City Mission. That in doing so, that there's a divine nature to it. There's a way that is outside of man's greatest intellect and wisdom. We've seen at City Mission for more than 10 years now that provision. Part of that is a risk. You know, we take a risk that provisions will come through being faithful to what is the core, which is a calling inspired by faith, believing that if we're doing what we're meant to do, that those same provisions will come in the same way that I will assume a sunrise tomorrow morning. I'll assume rains will come at the appropriate time to nourish this community, but at the heart of it truly is that. It's a niche calling. Financially, it's not a calling that's taken based on a career move to advance one's financial position. We take a big risk in that space as people, then responding to that calling, recognising that we budget salaries and incomes for our team. It's very skinny, it's very lean, it's a choice that's made with that risk component, but not for a second do we believe that it's void of that larger sense of provision and security that comes from knowing that it's that in faithfulness, our needs will be met. Beyond that, we have a clothing pod, which we'll show you. Just things like a clothing depot, the ability to give someone a fresh set of clothes. We've got beddings and various items in there. Again, zero cost for those items. It's the ability to give somebody a fresh set of clothes when they're coming in for a shower. They've got to get to court, they've got to get to an appointment, they've got to get to something special that's advancing their circumstances. Well, being able to provide that holistic baseline services is really critical in ensuring that people can get on the front foot, as I said. So family's everything. I mean, what does ECM do? What does the City Mission provide? It provides dynamics of a family, really. Wherever there's a place of security, a place of provision, a place of love, acceptance, a safe sanctuary, a soft landing after a hard day in the workplace or in the schoolyard, wherever those dynamics are, well, that's really what City Mission does. It provides that for a body of people that are displaced, people that are stuck in the vacuum of homelessness. We're providing those old-fashioned family values in a warehouse facility whereby there are codes of conduct and appropriate behaviours and words and actions that support that and required of visitors, but all at a zero cost, as we said. What at the end of the day, it results in acceptance, consistency, reliability, all those things which often a good household will provide to an individual or a loved one. We seek to provide that to people who are sometimes in their most isolated season and just needing that platform to leverage from again, to get back into a life that is much more purpose-driven than it is waste.